Imagine.
Take
like
it
that.
slow.
Take it slow and talk. Yeah, feel the words.
I feel them.
You wrote them, so.
I copied them. Okay.
Feel on those words.
I'm gonna copy these words. Ready?
Yeah.
Turkey cheese. Okay. Imagine being in a car accident. You just got hit by a reckless driver. You lost your job and you didn't even know how you were going to afford dinner. You're in the hospital now, eating a dry turkey and cheese sandwich, thinking life can't get any worse. But then it does. You hit the medical bill with expenses with thousands of dollars. Your health insurance dropped when you lost your job. And you didn't even have control over it. Now you're shuffling your shoes, thinking of how you're going to pay for the medications, the co-pays, the follow-ups. You're regretting not cherishing that turkey and cheese sandwich. This is just one of the millions of situations that happen to Americans daily that don't have health care. How is it justifiable for the government to watch humans lose their lives over certain ailments and illnesses that they can't control? How is it reasonable that poverty level single mothers, college students have to scrounge up pennies in their couch just so they can avoid the common cold? Then the families with higher incomes get the pushiest insurance. That just doesn't settle right in my mind. Janice Kerensky, a policy genius, talks about the logistics of Medicaid, which is a form of insurance that helps the financially unstable. Kerensky reports that states could expand Medicaid, but they no longer had to. 33 states, including Washington, D.C., did, however 18 didn't. And the eligibility across states have become diversified since Donald Trump took office. So the United States finds itself into a bind, one that they could essentially fix, but chose not to. The president and his people lack a certain compassion, which is a serious issue. The president and his people argue that based on income, it can still be affordable. However, there's a prejudice that supremacists cannot comprehend. They can argue that the government doesn't have enough money to pay for everyone, that the demand for doctors will go up while the quality of the medical care will go down. And this can be seen as nonsense once they understand that insurance plans are too much money for low-income families and individuals. And that income assessment of where the money goes can be looked at without prejudice, and then they can see that people are truly dying and suffering. First, we must look at the math, so the people that are in charge of our livelihoods can understand. Even though people have an income doesn't mean that they can always afford it. My boyfriend suffers from anxiety, and his workplace doesn't provide insurance. He works 40 hours a week, and that's his livelihood. We called Florida Blue to see how much an individual plan would be, and it started at $330, which is insane. That's almost more than half of his paycheck per week. And that's not even factoring into how much we'll be paying for follow-ups, medications, and basic necessities. According to eHealth, premiums for individuals average at $440 a month, while premiums for families are $1,168 a month. Now we have to factor in where the money's going. Let's take a minimum wage worker in Florida. According to Square Up, on January 1st, 2018, the minimum wage is set to go from $8.10 to $8.25. Big whoop. $8.25 times 40 hours a week will be roughly $330, and then after taxes, $260. How can a person afford a $300 to $400 plan, and then factoring gas, food, electricity, water, and the government still thinks that people can have a quality of life? If health insurance was accessible to everyone, it wouldn't be such a struggle to even survive the monthly bills. Trump's troops can say how, if people are working, how are people suffering? Cecile of the Cambridge Health Alliance states that the study conducted at Harvard Medical School and Cambridge Health Alliance found that the uninsured working age American has a 40% higher risk of death than their privately insured counterpart. That's from a 25% excess from 1993. People work jobs without insurance to pay their dues and let go of their certain ailments. There's a family, the Whitmans, that do just that. According to Tazi and Achman of Bloomberg, Jason's knee injury and concussion went untreated. Whitman would like to get an inhaler for her allergies in the spring, but says she's going to have to probably pass up on that too. Let's not have people breathe for the holidays. We're living in a world where health issues are going untreated and ignored because of money. And then we have people that try to justify it. We have President Trump and his people that just ignore it. They say that they have a plan to reduce the cost of medical care, which is a short-term plan. With Trump's ideas, these short-term plans can push people away. According to the Washington Post, short-term plans can turn people away with pre-existing conditions, from acne to asthma, that they can charge older or sicker people prohibitively expensive premiums. This isn't a solution, this is a band-aid, not even a good band-aid, because it negates that it's okay to turn sick people away. Trump is not just the president, but one of the richest men in America. How is someone so wealthy and egocentric able to understand what middle class and low income families need? He lives in a life that is just too ignorant to understand. America should be the land of opportunity, the melting pot. We are one of the most economically flourishing nations in the world, but we can't afford free health care. We have financial stability, resources, innovative minds. Why not? Critics argue that the quality of health care would diminish if we gave everyone free health care. Health Affairs states many are skeptical that provider quality and total cost of care can be objectively and validly measured. They say with their plan of action, which would be the ICC, a program where everyone can win. Maybe there can be a happy medium found, but it seems like providers get more than consumers get. With free health care, it'll be easier for doctors to be spread across the board, and it will still be in high demand, and the quality of medical care will still be there. It's hard for the opposing side to see how we can do this, and the people not fortunate enough to get medical attention feel too defeated. So how do we take action? If our taxes were to increase, they could go to free health care, not instead of them going into the pockets of the wealthy. There could be free clinics or free community centers specialized just for low-income families. We can gather volunteers for specific simple medical procedures and follow our civic duty to provide, because that is what America is supposed to be about. We are a community, a unity, and our diversity should be cherished, whether it's from skin color to sexuality to our income. We lost sight of that along the way, but it's not too late to get it back. We must speak up and we must be heard. And it's so important to vote, even if it's statewide, because that's a stepping stone to larger avenues. Pitch the idea to volunteer at a hospital. There can be charities that have donations go strictly to free health care. The more we speak up, the more we'll be heard. Doctors have a responsibility and a passion to save lives. Having free health care will help each other. The president can't ignore a union as big as we can be. Being a 20-something-year-old hasn't been easy when it comes to finances, maintaining my debilitating anxiety and crippling depression. To see insurance plans starting at $300 makes me sicker than factoring in how much money I spend on bills. Even more sick. And then, just have a quality of life. No one wants to live in fear of getting an illness. No one wants to be a dot on the map for the government just to judge you based on income. And no one wants to be heard that they can't get medical care. Because no medical care is not as good as just medical care. Bad medical care is better than no medical care at all. As Americans, we must unite. We need to vote. We need to make a union locally that'll become something big that the government can't ignore. Someone loses their job, no insurance, no money to eat. This will happen more if we don't get health care that's free. And if we don't make changes now, this could potentially be you.